following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
We greet you from the north side of Chicago, where the fans normally show up early. That is not always the case in Los Angeles, as it's being pointed out right there. The Dodgers are here. It is Game 2 of a 3-game series, the Dodgers and the Cubs. The Cubs winning 3-0 last night. And we welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Hi again, everyone. Bob Brenly and Len Casper. A little threat of rain. If it doesn't rain, it should be another perfect night out here weather-wise, and it was almost a perfect night last night.
It was a beautiful night to play baseball last night, especially for Derek Lee. I'll tell you what, Derek Lee is no question the leader of this ball club, and there's a certain comfort factor when your leader is producing. See, the Cubs are 11-5 when Derek Lee drives in a run. He looked really good at the plate last night. 3 base hits, a homer, and a walk.
And Noah Ramos Ramirez again tonight, still nursing that sore thumb. The Cubs may have to make a decision over the next couple of days. Hopefully no DL, but we'll find out. The pitching matchup tonight should be another dandy.
It should be a really good one. Tom Gorzalani coming off an excellent outing against the Phillies. He went 6 2/3 innings of 3-hit shutout baseball before he got hit with the line drive, and Chad Billingsley's won his last 3 in a row.
Cubs are playing good baseball. They've won 3 in a row and 7 of their last 9. They try to make it 2 straight over the Dodgers. We'll have the first pitch and all the action from the friendly confines next. Cubs baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Want to go home with me tonight? I'm the designated driver. Budweiser, responsibility matters. By Pepsi, every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com. And by Illinois Lottery's newest game, Powerball Wednesday and Saturday jackpots start at $20 million. Tonight's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting provided by WRTO, La Tremenda, Chicago's Spanish language sports leader. Hector Fabregas and Elio Benitez on the call in Spanish. Let's get you the Dodger lineup written out by Joe Torre, the future Hall of Famer. For Call, Martin and Kemp at the top, Ramirez, Blake, and Loney in the middle. Former Cub Reed Johnson always hits lefties well. He's in right. DeWitt at second, and Billingsley, the pitcher, hitting ninth.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively tonight. Behind Tom Gorzolani, brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Soriano, Colvin, and Fukudome across the outfield tonight. Mike Fontenot at third base. Starlin Castro, 5 errors in his first 5 games. Errorless ball over his last 12. He's made some stellar defensive plays. Ryan Terrio will be over at second base. Derek Lee at first base. Boy Hill doing the catching tonight for left-hander Tom Gorzolani. See his numbers on the season. He certainly deserved a lot better than a 2-4 record with the ERA that he's featuring. Had to come out of his last start when he was struck by a line drive on his pitching hand. Hopefully he'll show no ill effects of that here tonight.
The umpires for you, Wally Bell will work the plate. Diaz, the crew chief Hirschbeck, and Hoy around the bases. So Tom Gorzolani will pitch for the first time as a father. Son Gavin born over the weekend. So congrats to Tom and his wife Lindsay.
Baby needs new shoes.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
That's right. You're pitching for your entire family now, Tom, not just you and your wife. Now you've got to support a child. Go out there, deal.
Here we go. Rafael Furcal had a very rough night last night in his return from the disabled list. 2 huge errors leading to a couple of unearned runs. Hitless at the plate. Takes another strike, 0-2. Gorzolani followed up his worst outing of the year with his best at Philadelphia 1 week ago tonight. Taken out because he did get hit on the left ring finger by a comebacker in the bottom of the 7th. That's pulled down the line foul. Time now for the Chrysler game forecast. Just an ideal night. No wind at all. And it's brought to you by Chrysler. For more info on our vehicle lineup, log on to Chrysler.com or stop by your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Chrysler dealer today. First hit of the series for Rafael Furcal. So down in the count, he finds a way to get on. They had just 3 hits all of last night.
We mentioned Furcal recently back off the disabled list, spent some time with a bad hamstring. He was 8 out of 9 in stolen base attempts before the DL stint. See how aggressive he will be here tonight.
Here's a catcher, Russell Martin. Long look by Gorzolani at first, and the pitch is taken out of the zone. Ball 1.
A lot of similarities stature-wise between Russell Martin and former Dodger catcher Paul LaDuca. Also offensively, they're both very adept at shooting that hole in the right side of the infield when the leadoff man gets on. LaDuca used to hit second quite a bit for the Dodgers.
Outside, 2-0. Cubs picked up a game on both the Reds and Cardinals, who lost last night. So the Cubs are 4 games back, currently in 3rd in the NL Central. The Dodgers lost a game on the Padres, who beat St. Louis, so they're in 2nd place, 2 games behind San Diego in the West. Still early. This is only the 47th game of the season. Brewers and Astros have really scuffled lately. On this next road trip, the Cubs are going to play all 3 teams behind them in the standings: Pittsburgh, Houston, and Milwaukee.
A real good chance to put some ground between yourselves and those teams that are chasing in the Central Division, but take care of business here on this homestand first.
Ball 4.
2 more with the Dodgers, 3 with the Cardinals. This figures to be a huge homestand for the Cubs.
And some off days coming up, Bob, and you take them where you can get them. Cubs will be off again a week from tomorrow in Houston. And we expect to see Carlos Zambrano back in the rotation next week, probably in that Pittsburgh series. And Big Z will be available in the bullpen tomorrow through Saturday. Meanwhile, some trouble for Tom Gorzelani. The Dodgers shut out last night, but threatening big time here right off the bat. Breaking ball strike on Matt Kemp. The shutout was the 6th for the Dodgers, tied for the most in the major leagues. Cubs pitching with their 2nd shutout of the season. Swing and a miss on a fastball, 0-2. Well, Ryan Dempster made it look easy. We know it never is. Sure, he worked a lot harder than he made it look, but he went 8 innings and turned it over to Carlos Marmol, who was lights out in the ninth.
Well, there just weren't many hard hit balls for outs even against Ryan Dempster last night.
Ooh. Tough one to take, but Kemp did, and he hangs in 1-2.
My recollections of Wally Bell behind the plate. He will call the low strike. He will go a little bit off the outside corner, but rarely gives you any wiggle room on that inside corner.
So when you heard he was working, that rang a bell, right?
Some of them come back to him. Well, this Dodgers lineup is a completely different looking team without Andre Ethier, and no question about that. He's been one of the best hitters in baseball in the early going this season, and Joe Torre and his staff sorely missed their regular right fielder.
He was leading the majors with a .392 average when he went on the DL. Ethier is on the fast track to return. He's eligible Sunday, so he should be back within the next week or so. Coming back from a broken finger.
We talk about taking your breaks where you can get them. The Cubs missed Ubaldo Jimenez against the Rockies. They missed Roy Halladay against the Phillies, and they miss Andre Ethier against the Dodgers.
The 2-2 pitch just got a piece of it. We'll do it again.
As you mentioned at the top of the show, Len, very little wind blowing here right now. Just enough to move the flags barely. And if batting practice was any indication, the ballpark is going to play extremely small tonight.
Long look by Gorzelani. He's going to step up. Yep. Now you make a good point. With everything else equal, the dimensions of this park make it a hitter's ballpark, but it plays very big when the wind blows in, which it does more often than not. That'll get out of play. 368 to the gaps. Very reachable.
You'd have to say that well area in both left and right field, the most easily reachable home run areas. Derek Lee took advantage of the one in right field last night, tucked one just up into the basket in the well in right field.
Another 2-2 and another foul.
And that was the final destination of Derek Lee's 2-run homer in the ball game last night, giving him 299. He and Alfonso Soriano both looking for number 300. Wouldn't it be something they both get him tonight?
And possibly back-to-back. Derek hitting third and Alfonso in the cleanup spot. Runners go this time, and Terrio has one play. The second baseman was going to the bag, so he fielded that ball on the shortstop side and gets Kemp. So that basically works out like a sack bunt.
You see Terrio was cheating up the middle of the field anyway with Kemp at the plate. Usually a pull hitter, and that ball actually pulled Ryan to the shortstop side of the bag. He just couldn't get back to the base in time to get the sliding Russell Martin, so wisely takes the sure out at first base.
Here comes Manny Ramirez. 548 career home runs. Only 2 this season. He's been banged up. Some DL time. Recently bothered by a toe injury. Ball 1.
Ooh, don't look.
Guessing he's sprinkled in a few walks in there too. I'd have to say, Bob, since Barry Bonds kind of unofficially retired, Manny Ramirez probably the best eye of any major league hitter. And we talk about a game plan. He knows what he wants to do up there. If you had, let's say in the NL, 8 guys, 4 were Bonds, 4 were Ramirez, you'd probably score 12 runs a game. I'm serious.
Be a lot of long games too, because there'd be a lot of deep counts and a lot of ball 4s.
Well, we're in a different era, as we know, but those are Hall of Fame numbers, first ballot Hall of Fame numbers.
However, there is that cloud.
Yep.
You know, and unfortunately that's a reality in this era of baseball as well.
Still 1-2.
Gorzelani has some pitches to play with here, ahead in the count 1-2. But as you said, Manny with a good eye at the plate doesn't chase a lot of bad pitches. Occasionally you can get him to chase up out of the strike zone with a high fastball.
Oh, what a play by Fontenot just to knock it down. He was thinking about home. Instead took the sure out at first. Well, it sure looked like he had a play. It would not have been a force. It would have been a tag play at the plate. He decided to get Ramirez, who gets an RBI on the ground out. Well, that ball was hit very hard.
Yeah, it was smoke down there to third base. I think that gave Mike Fontenot more time than he realized. If he goes home right there, they have a real good chance to get for a call. But once again, you just make sure you get an out on the play. Mike was going to make an awkward throw to home plate. His shoulders were wide open. He was going to be throwing back against his own body, and decided just to take the sure out at first base.
In the end, Bob, I think if you look at the math, I think the risk was bigger than the reward here in the first, don't you?
Absolutely.
Could have been a run in, still 1 out, first and second. Now if he gets Blake, you limit the damage.
Well, and don't forget, Mike Fontenot is much more comfortable at second base, his more natural position. He hasn't played a lot of third base, and the timing is completely different down there at the hot corner. And when you knock down those hard hit smashes, you have a lot more time than you realize to make a play.
A 1-1 to Blake, base hit into the corner and left. Here comes Martin. Blake at second with an RBI double. It's 2-0.
Middle of the plate fastball for Casey Blake, a real good fastball hitter. He spanks it down into that left field corner for an RBI double.
You know, Lewis asked before the game about the impending return of Carlos Zambrano to the rotation. Cubs have not announced who's going to go out of the rotation and into the bullpen. But Lewis asked, will Tom Gorzelani go to the mound tonight thinking about maybe it's going to be me and put more pressure on myself? And Lewis said, no, I don't think so. And I'd have to agree. I think that if it's something the other starters are thinking about, I don't think you think about it when you're actually pitching. You could certainly speak to that more than I could, having played, as that'll be another hit. Loney trying to drive in Blake, and he is safe. And Loney will get in head first at second. 3-0.
To answer your question, Len, you could understand how maybe a younger pitcher or rookie pitcher in a tenuous position in the rotation might have some feelings as he went down to warm up. But you're absolutely right. Once you get between those white lines, you better focus on the job at hand, or that decision will be made for you.
It's going into tonight. Boy, everybody really doing their job. We mentioned Dempster last night. Silva improving to 6-0 the other day in Texas. Gorzelani coming off his best start. Ted Lilly getting better, it seems, every time out. Randy Wells went into the 9th inning Saturday. It's been a tough first inning tonight for the left-hander who faces former Cub Reed Johnson. Good to see Reed back here at Wrigley Field. Very popular Cub, even though he didn't play every day. Made several unbelievable catches. The one in Washington a couple years ago really stands out. Diving catch on the warning track. His hat was askew.
The grand slam he stole from Prince Fielder up in Miller Park.
Comebacker to Gorzelani. He'll underhand to Lee, and the Dodgers are done, but they sent 7 to the plate. 3 scored, and the Cubs are coming up. He refreshes the world. Kosuke back in there against the righty. Terry O'Lee, Soriano, Tyler Colvin in for Marlon Byrd. Fontenot for Ramirez. Castro with 11 hits over his last 8. And the battery tonight, Hill and Gorzelani.
Take a look at the Dodgers defensively tonight. Ramirez, Kempin, the former Cub Reed Johnson in right field tonight. He's played 458 games in left, 221 in right, and 185 in center. Very definition of a fourth outfielder. Blake for call, DeWitt and Loney across the infield tonight. Russell Martin once again doing the catching for the big right-hander Chad Billingsley. To the 5-2 record I mentioned earlier, he's won his last 3 starts, and he has been real good in doing so.
In a lot of ways, Bob, you can just cut and paste our comments in the first inning from last night, because Clayton Kershaw had come in on a 3-game winning streak. He pitched well enough to win last night. He gave up an unearned run in 6 innings, but suffered the loss because Ryan Dempster was better. Fukudome grounds out 4-3. If you'd like to send us an email, you can. Won't cost you anything unless you have to pay for internet. LenonBob@Tribune.com. You can follow us at Twitter.com/LenonBob as well. Just don't send us spam. We don't like junk email.
We don't like spam either.
No. We'll have the voice of the Blackhawks, Pat Foley, up in the booth a little later on. He'll conduct the 7th inning stretch. Ontario waves at strike 2. It's safe to say Chad Billingsley has a pretty strong base. He's listed at 240. Up the middle, it's going to squeak through. An 0-2 single for Ryan Theriot.
Billingsley has a full arsenal of pitches: a fastball, a cutter, curveball, slider, changeup, although he basically relies on just 3 of them: a fastball, a cut fastball, and a curve. Get it up there in the low to mid 90s on the fastball, try to cut the ball in on the left-handed hitters, cut it away from the right-handed hitters, and then the big 12-6 curveball to complement his harder pitches.
Now Derek Lee, who was responsible for all 3 Cubs runs last night. Fifth time in his Cubs career that he knocked in every run the Cubs had scored. 3rd time in the last 2 seasons, and another base hit. He's 4 for 4 in this series. His manager looked at a little video on the off day Monday, gave Derek a couple of minor tips, and whatever they were, they're working.
Well, for one thing, his bat looks a lot quicker the last couple of days. He's been getting on those high fastballs and pulling them into left field. When they've worked him away, he's been content to drive it the other way. I really think for a good hitter like Derek Lee, he's one of those guys. It's just a matter of having that one at bat where you square it up and hit the ball solidly and remember what it felt like. Remember the rhythm of your preparation and your swing. And over the last 2 days, Derek Lee has been locked in at the plate.
In on the hands of Soriano. Well, number 300 right here would tie it up. Almost 350 at Wrigley Field. Inside again. Only Andre Ethier and Jason Worth have a higher on-base plus slugging among all National League outfielders. Soriano at 1,020. Which is excellent. A pop-up, foul territory. Loney over near the tarp, and he has room to make the catch. Well, that's one I'm sure Soriano wishes he had back. A 2-0 pitch, and he hit a lazy foul pop-up. 2 down.
Boy, that's right in his wheelhouse. That pitch down, inner third of the plate. Time just got under it a little bit, lofted that high fly ball. Any wind at all, it might have blown up into the stands, but as we've talked about repeatedly here in the first inning, very little wind here tonight.
Tyler Colvin kind of on that Reed Johnson plan you talked about, the epitome of a 4th outfielder, plays all 3 spots. Tonight he's in center for Marlon Byrd. 1 strike. Swing and a miss. In fact, Colvin has now played all 3 spots in this series. He played right and left late last night. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Cubs leave 2. It's 3-0 Dodgers after 1.
In Tinley Park on June 25th. Get your tickets at livenation.com. The summer concert series is brought to you by Bud Light. Live music and Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Ooh, that smell.
Can't you smell that smell?
1-0 on Blake DeWitt. Fly ball out to left, and Soriano will grab it. Don't miss your chance to be part of the brand new PNC Club of Chicago. The new club, located down the third base line, offers high-end catering, a top-shelf bar, indoor and outdoor seating, and other benefits that allow for a truly all-inclusive game day experience. Membership also includes parking for every home game. Reserve your season tickets in the PNC Club of Chicago. Call 773-404-4200. Chad Billingsley with 1 career home run. And the hitters count, it's 2-0. Reds with a 1-zip lead over the Pirates in the 5th. The Pirates won on a late Ryan Doman homer last night. Jaime Garcia and Kevin Correa later tonight. Cardinals and Padres in San Diego. The Padres a winner last night, 1-0. I think it was their 3rd 1-0 win of the year. I'm guessing, Bob, since Petco Park opened, there have been more 1-0 games there than any place else.
Not Coors Field?
No. Three-two outside. He just walked the pitcher.
it stands to reason, talking about the Padres, they lead the National League in ERA, 2.92 team ERA going into play tonight. They're third from the bottom in team batting average, last in home runs, but they do have some team speed and they can manufacture runs. So if they get the good pitching, they may have a bunch of 1-0 games this year.
It seems as if they've really embraced what that ballpark is all about. And you haven't heard a lot of Padre hitters grouse about it like Phil Nevin and Ryan Klesko did when the park opened. I don't think there's any question John Garland went there because of the ballpark. And if you're a pitcher, why wouldn't you want to pitch there? The 0-1 to Furcal hit foul. 0-2. In other words, Bob, the Padres really should never have to overpay for good pitching. Let a guy go over there and shave a run off his career ERA, then he can go get overpaid somewhere else. Another good play by Edgar Tovar. And snagging line drives left and right in the Cubs bullpen.
He was our defensive star of the ball game last night for snaring a line drive that was headed for one of the Cubs relief pitchers. Edgar Tovar in that ball game last night. A screaming line drive off the bat at Giovanni Soto. Edgar springs up off the bench to make a great play. Eat sunflower seeds the whole time.
Joking around with Lester Strode, the bullpen coach, who's saying, "You have a glove, I don't."
I don't know if you remember this, Len, but at Old Candlestick Park in San Francisco, at one point they had the bullpen down the right field line was actually in foul territory, and we called it a penalty box. It was just a wooden box with a plexiglass window and a door that opened up toward home plate. And the relief pitchers would go in and out that door, obviously, and it would get hot in there from time to time. So the guy that sat at the far left end of the penalty box was also known as the door sheriff, as Furcal goes down on a slider down and in. And your responsibility was to make sure that door got pulled shut if a ball came down the first baseline. And sure enough, one time Craig Lefferts was the door sheriff that night and didn't get the door closed quickly enough. The ball rolled into the penalty box, and then the door went shut. A lot of duties down there in the bullpen. It's not all fun and games.
Right. Here's Martin with 2 outs. Billingsley still at first. Ever spend any time in the submarine in Detroit?
Oh, yeah.
Literally built into the ground, right?
You were underground. You couldn't see anything. Stalactites hanging down from the ceiling of that thing. It was nasty in there. Nasty.
Just about every new ballpark, they put the pins beyond the outfield walls. In San Francisco, they didn't have bullpens, so they had to put them along the lines like they do here at Wrigley Field. You might be wondering, what do you mean they didn't have bullpens? Yeah, they had the plans all drawn up and went, oops, whoops. Three and one on Martin. Kemp is on deck. Dodgers got 3 in the first off Gorzolani. Watching through the knothole off Sheffield. Charged by Fontenot. And a bad throw. He threw it into the stands for an error. So they'll be at second and third, and the inning is still alive. He may not have gotten a good grip, although, Bob, that's not a good excuse. He had plenty of time to find the four-seam grip, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. Charging in on this ball, he gets a nice hop, gets rid of it quickly, but just airmails everybody. When you throw it over Derek Lee's head, that's a wild throw. Hit off the facing over there and ricocheted about 20 rows up into the bleachers.
Sometimes when you are hurrying, you cannot get a good grip on the baseball. But even though Martin runs well for a catcher, it looked like Fontenot had much more time than he gave himself.
It gets back to what we talked about in the first inning, from playing second base. It's a completely different perspective of the game. You don't have to rush as much as you think at third base, especially on hard hit balls or balls like that one where you're charging across the infield.
And it's going to cost the Cubs 2 unearned runs as Matt Kemp is going to pick up a double. And he's just going to keep running. Actually, the Cubs may save a run here as Kemp is going to head to the plate, and they're going to send it back to second. Actually, no, both. I think both will score, right? Or are they going to bring runner back to third? It was second and third.
Yeah, they'll both score on this one, yeah. High fastball, belt high out over the plate. Kemp punishes it into that gap in left center. And Soriano and Colvin both well aware of the ground rules here at Wrigley Field. Just throw their arms in the air. Kemp will have to stop at second.
If it had been first and third, yeah, one of the guys would have been called back to third. So, pretty big error by Fontenot. It's 5-0. Out to left. It's going to hold up for Soriano to end the inning. But an error and then a 2-run double. 2 unearned runs. It's 5-0.
Sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions. Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $12 million.
Well, Matt Kemp knocking in 2 after an error by Mike Fontenot. It stretches the LA lead to 5. Fontenot will try to make up for it a little bit here offensively. He's hitting 6th. Cubs have been really good defensively lately. Castro on deck, and then Coy Hill against the big righty, Chad Billingsley. Down the left field line, it's going to drop. Ramirez will cut it off, but not before Fontenot has a double.
I expect the Cubs to try to take liberties on Manny Ramirez in left field whenever possible. This particular play, he's running away from his target anyway. By the time he scooped it and crashed into the sidewall down there, no play on Fontenot at second base.
The Fontenot error, just the 3rd over the Cubs' last 8 games. Bob mentioned Starlin Castro. He's really settled in nicely at shortstop. He had the 3-error game here in his home debut and has not committed one since. 12 straight games without a defensive miscue. Oh, 0-2 on the rookie, facing Billingsley for the first time. Ground ball to 3rd. Blake a quick look at Fontenot, and then he gets the out at first. Watch the Cubs take on the Cardinals this Friday here at Wrigley Field. Game time 1:20, but be sure to get here early. The first 10,000 adults 21 and older will receive a Cubs washed hat, compliments of Bud Light. Bob is going to personally hand wash 10,000 hats.
Every one of them.
Over the next 2 days.
I'll be over at the lake banging them on rocks, getting them ready.
Coy Hill looks at a strike on a breaker. Made his major league debut with the Dodgers. He played third base in college, and after being a 4th-round pick 10 years ago, the Dodgers converted him to catcher. Beautiful night once again. Base hit to right. Fontenot stopping at 3rd per Mike Quaddy's advice.
Boy, with his second base hit against Billingsley in his career, the other one a home run last season, this time a topspin grounder that gets through the right side. We know Reed Johnson doesn't possess the strongest throwing arm in the National League, but he charges the ball hard, gets rid of it quickly, and Mike Quaddy certainly well aware of Reed Johnson's abilities out there in right field.
We'll see what Gorzolani does. He could try to bunt Hill to second and give Fukudome a shot at knocking in 2. He's going to swing away out in the left center. Ramirez can't make the play. Fontenot's in. Hill on his way to 3rd. 5-1. Tom Gorzolani with an RBI single.
Going away from the bunt here. Manny took the banana route after that baseball, started back. By the time he realized that ball was going to die in front of him, he couldn't make the shoestring catch. Fontenot trots home with the first run of the game for the Cubs. Coy Hill all the way around to third.
Still only one out. Second RBI this year, the 11th of Gorzolani's career. And a fastball missing, ball one. We have a chance. Let's look at tonight's improvement from Menards. Cubs were 7 games under 500. And they started this stretch of 7 of 9. And look at how the team has pitched. Fortunately, we haven't seen that tonight. For all your home improvement needs, shop and save big money at Menards. Still a long way to go, though. We're only in the second. That's a strike. Chad Billingsley is from Defiance, Ohio. He was an all-star last year, had an excellent first half. Wasn't good in the second half. His ERA was over 5. That's foul as Kosuke hit it off himself. 2-2.
Well, we have a quick moment here, Len. Colonel Raymond Jahaski wants to say hello to his aunt, Lois Moon, watching tonight down in Gulfport, Florida. She never misses a Cubs game. Also, get well wishes to my father-in-law, Jack Miskimmons, at Grant Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. I know he's tuned in tonight, a big Cubs fan. Get well soon, Jack.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Billingsley.
You can see when Billingsley gets in a little bit of trouble, he goes away from that straight fastball, throws more cutters, and this time a curveball to Kosuke Fukudome, getting him well out in front. We saw it from Clayton Kershaw in the ball game last night, as well as his previous starts this year, and we're seeing it from Billingsley also, throwing a lot of fastballs with no runners on base. And once they get in trouble, they start to mix in their secondary pitches.
I'll send out congratulations to our good friend, former Cubs employee Erin Harrington. She and Sean Doty got engaged over the weekend. Erin used to work in the Human Resources Department, and we wish them the best. Ground ball to short for call, the flip. DeWitt covering. The Cubs get 1 on the Gorzolani RBI. It's 5-1 LA after 2.
inning. Let's check out the crowd through the first inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game. That's Green Day with Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Budweiser, it's what we do.
You see Jim Belushi in the house. He will conduct the stretch this coming weekend, I think on Saturday. Casey Blake with an RBI double in the first. Looks at a strike. Gorzelani needs a scoreless inning here. Gave up 3 in the first, 2 in the second. They were unearned. Wild one today in Cleveland. The White Sox squeaked it out 5-4. They were up 5-1 going into the bottom of the ninth. Bobby Jenks got into all kinds of trouble. But with the bases loaded, he got the final 2 outs to preserve the win. He did not get a save because it wasn't a save chance going into that inning. Mark Burley and Ozzie Guillen got kicked out as Starlin Castro makes an error. Seems to be contagious tonight.
A hard hit ball, a very playable hard hit ball for Castro. Oh, just climbed right up his chest, hit off the heel of his glove, off his chest, and ricochets all the way over to the third base position. He caught a little stationary right there. Half a step in, he gets that ball on the easy short hop. He just held his ground and made it into a tougher short hop.
James Loney with a man on, nobody out. Double play ball. 4, 6, 3. Acrobatic move by Castro to leap over the sliding Casey Blake.
He gets a redeemer right away after kicking that ball at shortstop to put a man on first base. As you said, a very acrobatic double play turn out there at second base. I'm not so sure Casey Blake could have reached the bag at second. You have to be able to touch the base with some part of your body, either a hand or a foot or whatever. Looked like Blake went way wide out there to try to break up that double play. You don't actually have to touch the base. You just have to be able to touch the base. Get another look at it right here as Castro comes across the bag. Blake goes way wide, and you could see him reaching out there with his left hand, so in the estimation of John Hirschbeck, he was close enough.
Did you happen to read any of Ozzie's comments after the game today? Third time in his career he's been kicked out by Joe West. Ozzie's probably, well, he's going to be fine and will probably be suspended for really going after Joe verbally to reporters. And he included MLB as well. Quote, this is from Mark Gonzalez's story in the Trib. Joe has been like that for a lot of years, talking about embarrassing Mark Burley. In Ozzie's words, he's always going to be like this. I'm not going to change it. Nobody's going to change it. He thinks bleeping people pay to watch bleeping umpire. I'll be waiting for my fine. Get him the next day. And he also said Major League Baseball doesn't do bleep for anything. So I will be very curious to see what Major League Baseball decides to do. Ozzie's not going to manage Friday night because of one of his son's high school graduations. He'll probably miss a few more as well. It's 5-1 Dodgers as we go to the bottom of the third from Wrigley. 5-1 Dodgers, bottom 3. Derek Lee heating up, 4 for 4 in the series, putting a single in his first at bat here tonight. Bad news, the Cubs are down 4. The good news is they've had their chances against Billingsley. They've left 4 on over 2 innings.
Billingsley has had one start this year where he gave up 6 earned runs. That was his second start of the season against the Diamondbacks, a 9-7 Dodgers loss. Gave up 6 in 5 2/3. He also had another ball game against the Reds. He went only 3 innings, gave up 7 runs. However, only 4 of those were earned. He's not the kind of guy that usually gives up runs in bunches, but well-placed home run ball here and there would certainly take care of that.
Derek Lee with another base hit. Shudder at a 3D film and Dodge moving dinos at a robotic encounter you'll never forget, starting today at the Field Museum. Sioux Escapes. For tickets and more info, go to SiouxEscapes.com. Soriano pops it up down the right field line. Reed Johnson racing over, and it's going to land untouched. I think Reed wanted to dive, but when you see the back of that bullpen mound, you're looking at a broken neck.
And the brick wall. The combination of the two tends to make outfielders want to stay on their feet. I mean, we all know Reed Johnson very well, and if there was any chance for him to make a dive and catch that ball without putting himself in the emergency room, you know he would have done it.
Last year, Mark DeRosa ran into the box down in the other line. Pulled to left and deep for Soriano into the corner. Foul off the ledge. Bidding for extra bases, so surrounding the field. He just hasn't hit one fair yet.
Just a little bit too much English on that one. Just curled into foul territory. Not home run distance, certainly extra base distance. Manny Ramirez playing extremely deep out there in left field. No chance to get over in the vicinity for that one.
Another one pulled foul. Come on, Edgar. Lester Strode saying, you didn't help me on that one.
You protect everybody else down here and let the coach get hit. See, they should really trade seats if they want Edgar to protect all of them.
Bounced up there, and good read by Derek. Did not get far away enough from Russell Martin for Derek to try for second.
That's one of those breaking balls that hits so far out in front of home plate, rather than go down to block the ball, you actually end up coming up. Russell Martin blocked that one hip high.
Double play ball, and it's booted again by Furcal, his 3rd error of the series. Well, that could be huge. Well, it's 2 outs, nobody on. If he makes that very routine play instead, 1st and 3rd with no outs.
Furcal has looked all right at the plate so far in this series since coming back off the DL, but he has had some serious issues defensively. Liked a couple balls last night. That one just a routine boot. That was an easy double play ball. Not able to come up with it. Make it hurt.
Tyler Colvin. Here's a pitch. Ball 1. swing and a miss.
That's that cutter. You can see just a little bit of movement into the left-handed hitter. He throws his four-seam fastball from 90 to 94 miles an hour. That cutter usually sits around 87 to 90 with that movement down and into the lefties. It's like another cutter coming inside.
Colvin might see yet another until he proves he can do something with it. You have to take advantage. It was a slam dunk, a layup, whatever terminology you want to use. That was as routine as it gets for a double play. And the Dodgers didn't even get one. Soriano not going to try. He had one shot. Once he hesitated, it was too late.
Talk about Russell Martin last night. Only 2 passed balls on the season. However, the Dodger pitching staff has uncorked 13 wild pitches when he's been behind the plate this year. He will occasionally have some issues blocking balls back there. So far tonight, he's been able to handle some really tough chances.
Cutter fouled off. 2-2.
You know, that wild pitch pass ball thing, sometimes anytime a pitch is in the dirt, it's going to be called a wild pitch on the part of the pitcher. But a lot of catchers around the major leagues and a lot of managers will tell you there's a number of pitches in the dirt that have to be blocked. When you know a breaking ball is coming on a 2-strike count, you figure it's probably going to be low in the strike zone, maybe even in the dirt. I have to make sure to get down there and not let that ball get past. And when some of those balls do get past, they go as a wild pitch against the pitcher and not a pass ball on the catcher, although the fault mostly lies with the catcher. I hate to say that.
Torrey was a catcher at one time and a third baseman. 3-2 Soriano not running as Colvin fouls it off again.
That cutter was just a little bit higher than the 2 Tyler swung over earlier in the sequence. That time at least able to get a bat on it, pull it foul down that first baseline. You see that one is just below the belt on the inside corner.
Ball 4 to load him up. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. To see all the sailboats out on Lake Michigan. And the Cubs have the bases loaded with nobody out.
And it's amazing how this game will afford you the opportunity to redeem yourself. Mike Fontenot's big error in the top half of the second inning allowed 2 unearned runs to score. He's in a position here to make up for it.
Billingsley gets a sign from his catcher Martin. Here he comes on an 0-1. Backdoor breaker 0-2.
It's a big curveball. We talked about it last inning. When he gets in trouble, that's when he starts to mix in more off-speed pitches, use the cutter a little bit more. Wide of first. With this defensive alignment, if he happens to hang that curveball over the inside part of the plate and give Mike Fondo an opportunity to pull it to that gap in right center, it could clear the bases with Tyler Colvin's speed on at first.
Cubs have out-hit the Dodgers 6-4, but they trail where it counts 5-1. Trying to change that here in the third. And it hit him, a painful RBI, but it's 5-2 as Fontenot will head down to first. He hit him on a 1-2 pitch.
That's driving in a run the hard way right there. Billingsley hasn't had great command of that cutter in this inning. Runs that one way in off the plate. Caught Mike Fondo on the back of that right elbow. Hopefully he'll be okay. That's his throwing arm.
A visit from the pitching coach Rick Honeycutt as Fontenot and Ivan De Jesus check out the injury. And Ivan signaling to Ed Halber to come on out and check on it.
Yeah, I said it hit him in the back of the elbow. It looked like it missed his elbow and caught him on the back of the hand, wrist area. You're always concerned when a guy gets it in that particular area. So many little bones, very little protection. The trainer will come out and have you test your grip strength. He'll bend it one way, bend it another way. You see Ed Halber constantly watching Mike Fontenot's face to see what kind of reaction he gets, if he grimaces or takes in air quickly down there. Because most guys are going to lie to you. It's fine. It's fine.
Ever have a trainer do that? The minute the trainer leaves, the player goes, turns his head away.
Yeah.
He's all right. Just rub some dirt on it. 5-2. Still nobody out. Here's Castro. Single, error, walk, hit batter. Strike one. Let's see, what else can we... How about some catcher's interference? Whatever it takes. Lost his helmet on that swing.
Castro's done a real good job of identifying those breaking pitches, especially the ones out of the strike zone. However, that time he chased a bad curveball from Billingsley to fall behind 0-2.
Rollover grounder, foul.
Well, then we touched on this briefly during interleague play down in Texas on the last road trip. The difference between American League Baseball and National League Baseball, obviously you've got the DH, your starting pitcher, you never have to worry about hitting for him. We could conceivably see a situation here with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the pitcher spot. Tom Gorzolani up in the third inning, trailing by 3 runs. Those are the tough decisions that National League managers have to make that American League managers don't even concern themselves with. Especially when you're facing a tough opposing pitcher, you have to ask yourself, how many more opportunities are we going to get to score runs in this ballgame?
It's an excellent point. Still 2 batters away. Another 0-2 to Castro. Bounce to third. Throw's going to go to the plate. They'll get the force on Soriano. Still loaded. 1 out.
Chasing that curveball again, just tops it harmlessly down to third base where Casey Blake is charging. He has no hesitation whatsoever. He's going home all the way on that ball. His momentum was carrying him right toward his target.
About the only way he wouldn't have gone home is if the ball had been hit hard and it would have taken him right to the bag. Could have gone the force at third, maybe then fired to the plate, or the 5-3 double play. So it's Coy Hill now. And in breaking down the Bobby Jenks 9th inning earlier today, when a pitcher in this spot has 1 out in the inning, he starts to see a little light at the end of the tunnel. Billingsley thinking, okay, if I can strike out Hill, I'm in good shape. Now the pitcher, as Bob said, is now on deck, creating an interesting scenario depending on what Coy Hill does in this at bat. Jenks struck out Austin Kearns with the bases loaded. 1-2. And got a fly out to end the game. And as the White Sox hung on, and Chad Billingsley kind of trying to hang on here in the 3rd inning tonight. Now, Blues thinking about pinch hitting for Gorzolani. Tom can say, but I have an RBI, which is true. Scoring single in the last inning.
Yeah, and I mentioned one of the determining factors is the opposing pitcher. How many opportunities do we think we're going to get in this game to score runs? Also, you have to evaluate your own pitcher. Is he at his best tonight? Is he struggling? The Dodgers have had some pretty good swings against Tom Gorzolani, at least in the first 2 innings. Had a 1-2-3 3rd inning. After the Castro era, a double play ball and then a strikeout of Reed Johnson. But a lot of things to put into the computer before you make the decision to hook your starting pitcher in the 3rd inning.
And based on the fact that nobody has moved at all in the bullpen, it sounds like the decision has already been made. Gorzolani will bat no matter what. Because the inning here could end at any moment with a double play ball. So 1-2 on Coy Hill. Rick Honeycutt looks on. He's already made a trip to the mound this inning. The kick and the pitch, and he got him. 2 down. So it is up to Gorzolani.
Do it again. Already has a base hit and an RBI in this game back in the 2nd inning. How many times do pitchers get to hit in back-to-back innings? That's pretty good.
Bounce to DeWitt. Boy, a big missed chance. The Cubs got 1, but they should have had a lot more. 5-2 after 3.
WGN is brought to you by Bud Light Lime, the drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime.
Well, the Cubs got one, but man, did they have chances. They've had lots of chances, really, in all of the first 3 innings, but they've stranded 7.
And that's something the Cubs have done so well over the last 10 days to 2 weeks, come up with those big clutch base hits, those big 2-out knocks. Just haven't been able to break through against Billingsley for that big 2-out knock today.
Fastball missing on Blake DeWitt. Swing and the miss at a slider. Strange landing there for Gorzelani. 2-1. Very calm, warm night here on the north side. Certainly looking like it's going to be an excellent week weather-wise for this big homestand. Dodgers and Cardinals, and the lights are going out, and they've all gone out. A power outage here at Wrigley Field as DeWitt took the walk. Some of the lights went out, and then pretty much all of them did. There are about, as I can see, maybe 8 or 9 bulbs that are still actually working. And we see more lights actually from the cameras taking pictures. I don't ever recall a power outage at Wrigley Field. Do you?
No, not at all.
I mean, I guess this is a throwback to pre-1988.
That's why they didn't play games at this time of day before 1988. It's dark.
Now, some of the lights went out, Bob, I think right as Gorzelani was delivering ball 4.
I think you're right. And then the rest of them went out as Blake DeWitt started his trip down the first baseline. Hopefully this is a situation that can be remedied quickly. Umpires talking it over with some Cubs personnel down on the third base side.
I hope it wasn't us. We actually just turned the lights on in our booth. I hope we didn't blow a circuit. Now we can't see the replay because our monitors aren't working, but we'll show you the final pitch before the power outage.
Good time to have a little snack for Wally Bell, the home plate umpire, getting some sunflower seeds there from, I think that's James Hoy.
So, you see a few of them came back on. Well, where's Clark Griswold when you need him? Well, actually, you don't need him. August 8th of '88. The first night they intended to use lights. Game was rained out. The first game actually was the next day as Roger Baird, the head groundskeeper, Carl Rice, who runs the ballpark operations, is feverishly running around the bowels of the stadium right now, I'm sure, to try to figure out what happened and how long it's going to take.
Check the fuse box. Fortunately, there's still just enough daylight here that people can see their way around. They can get out of their seats, go out to the concourse, and get a beverage while we have this delay here.
There's Crane Kenny, Cubs president, explaining the scenario. And if I can read lips, it sounded like, or looked like he said it's going to be about 15 minutes. Might take that amount of time for the lights to reset. That's generally the case, at least for my night tennis days. Well, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back, and not a rain delay, but a power outage delay here at Wrigley Field, and we hope it doesn't last long. A runner on. We're in the fourth inning. 5-2 Dodgers, and we'll be right back. 2010 Honda CRV. Lights went out at 8:25. So it's been almost 10 minutes now. Derek Lee 5 for 5 in this series. The Cubs left 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and the bases loaded in the third. When they had them loaded with nobody out, scored only once. A key error by Rafael Furcal. The defense on both sides been a little shaky tonight, Bob.
Yeah, a little shaky, especially at the shortstop position. Starlin Castro with his first error in 12 ball games. Rafael Furcal kicked one. Mike Fondo had some issues over at third base as well. Well, the power outage really started in that bottom half of the third inning. One big extra base hit by the Cubs could have made this a much different ball game, but they left the bases loaded.
So we must be on a different grid up in the press box. All the lights are on here in the press box. It appears as though the Dodger TV broadcast went off the air using house power. We are still on the air, of course, and all the outlets seem to work. Monitors are plugged in. So maybe, Bob, if we've got some lights up above, maybe we can just turn them toward the field. We'll be in good shape. Pat and Ron are still on the air. A strange occurrence here at Wrigley Field.
Another Cubby occurrence.
Us that in 2003 the Cubs had 2 games delayed here, both against Milwaukee due to power issues. May 6th in the 9th inning, 15-minute delay. June 24th, a 16-minute delay. This is going to end up being about 15 to 20 minutes as Adam Burris is here for the second night. Same seat. Figured he'd put his sunglasses back on now that the lights have come on again. So DeWitt at first. Chad Billingsley's going to try to lay down a bunt. And we are underway again. 18-minute delay. So the third power outage here at Wrigley Field since they installed lights in 1988. I suppose, Bob, there were power outages before 1988, but they didn't stop the game because really all you need are the lights to play at night. Play during the day, you don't need the lights. Well, you didn't for a long time.
Look it up, Lynn, just to make sure, but I was almost positive it was Wally Bell that was working the plate in San Diego back in 2001 when Curt Schilling started the game for the Diamondbacks. They had a transformer blow on the roof in left field at Old Qualcomm Stadium. Now, the game was resumed the next day, and it was Randy Johnson's day to pitch. There was no way you could bring Curt Schilling back the next day after throwing, I believe he went 2 innings in that ball game, and Bruce Bochy had loaded his Padres lineup with left-handed hitters against Curt Schilling, and we came back with Randy Johnson the next day to complete the game. Struck out 16 Padres in 7 innings, setting a record for strikeout. Kemp is the guy you probably fear the most in that Dodger lineup. Seems funny to say when the Dodgers have Manny Ramirez in the lineup, but right now I think Matt Kemp is the guy I would like to avoid with runners on base.
3-2 with 2 outs. Ball, strike 3. Gorzolani, after the delay, strikes out the side. Martin didn't like the call. Doesn't matter. 5-2 Dodgers to the bottom of the 4th. After the outage, depending on what you were able to hear, Pat and Ron on radio, we appreciate them helping fill the time. Tom Gorzolani struck out 3 to get out of the 4th inning after walking Blake DeWitt. And Chad Billingsley with a 3-2 count on Cubs leadoff man Kosuke Fukudome. We see across the street a lot of the buildings on Sheffield and Waveland are dark, so it's like there are more power outages in the area. Not just Wrigley. Called strike 3. Wally Bell's starting to ring people up. Thankfully, it's not 97 degrees. Mid-70s tonight. We continued to broadcast even though you couldn't hear us. I actually thought it was our best half inning of the year. So we may have to regurgitate what we gave you in the last half inning, but I thought it was really good. You were particularly strong.
I was eating a hot dog.
Terrio with a one-hopper that sneaks past DeWitt for a base hit.
Terrio with his second base hit of the ball game, going right back up the middle of the field. Ball took a big hop right at the very end. DeWitt was going down into a slide, and the ball actually came back up. He'd have been better served to stay on his feet and just reach across and backhand that one, but there was no way of knowing that ball was going to take a bad hop.
Derek already with 2 hits tonight. He had 3 last night. Strike 1.
Coming into tonight's game against Billingsley, Derek hadn't had much luck against him. He was only 1 for 12.
It does tell you a little something about those numbers, doesn't it? Point being, when you're hot, you're hot. And it might not matter who's pitching.
Well, you bring up a great point. And when you're not hot, it doesn't matter who you're facing.
Check on Terrio. Gets back in head first. Derek's up to 240. He began the series at 218. Inside on a fastball, 2-1. The Dodgers television broadcast still not back on the air. Eric Collins does a great job not only calling Dodger games on the road along with Steve Lyons. Eric has lived in Chicago and done a wonderful job on all kinds of sports, but now one of the voices of the Dodgers. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Right now they're just fans. Just sitting and watching and waiting.
Getting back to what we were talking about, when you're hot and when you're not, and Derek Lee's numbers against Billingsley before tonight, he's hit him hard twice already in the ball game. When you're swinging the bat well and you're an everyday player, you don't really care who's pitching for the other team. Sometimes you don't even know who's pitching for the other team until you go out there to take the field. You're that confident, you're that locked in, you're that secure that it doesn't matter who's on the mound. Eventually, he's going to have to throw that ball in the strike zone, and if he does, I'm going to hit it hard. At least that's what I've heard.
For call, DeWitt, Loney. Hit a ball hard yet again. This time makes 2 outs. 5-2 Dodgers. 9-9. Go to WGN. Kemp leading off. We want to welcome those viewers on Prime Ticket. Len Casper, Bob Brenly on WGN. We had a power outage earlier. And Eric Collins and Steve Lyons are chopping at the bit to get back. In the first, line to left in the second. It's low. Cubs out hitting the Dodgers 7-4, but they trail 5-2. A high fly ball to right, playable for Fukudome. 2 down. Tom Gorzolani has been a different guy since the lights went out and came back on.
Almost like he got to start the ball game over again. His command has been much better. He's hit his spots with more consistency and got some easy outs.
Now it's Casey Blake. Like the guy behind the plate, Coy Hill, Casey Blake. At the Wichita State, they did not play together. Blake was there a couple of years before Coy Hill was. Colvin drifting back, makes the play, and that's the inning. Midway in the fifth, Dodgers 5, Cubs 2. Zambrano tied for 4th. Toyota and your local Toyota dealers, official partner of the Chicago Cubs. 1-0 on Silva hanging out in the dugout. Wind and the 2-1. He missed it. 2-2. A couple of other finals from the American League earlier today. Kansas City split a 2-game series with Texas, winning 5-2 today. Coach Haver over Scott Feldman. Seattle beat Detroit 5-4. They got 4 in the bottom of the 8th to win it. Soriano strikes out. I apologize for no pitch speed reading, but that was lost in the power outage. He's kind of incrementally getting back to 100%. But the most important things are the pictures and the audio.
If you really want pitch speed, I'll guess.
All right.
91.
Pretty close. They have 93 on the board here in the ballpark.
That's a hot gun.
Nicely done.
'88. We talked about it before. His four-seam fastball will go between 90 and 95 miles an hour. The cutter usually would be between 87 and 91. And then the curveball considerably slower than that at 76 to 79 miles an hour.
Fastball to make it 1-2. The Reds shut out the Pirates 4-0. Bronson Arroyo 7 2/3, 5 hits, no runs. He beat Ross Ollendorf. Way outside. Billingsley's all right, but it's the kind of pitch that makes a pitching coach and a manager very nervous. You wonder if there's an injury. But he's all right.
Yeah, it looked like he just tried to overthrow a curveball right there. It slipped out of his hand before he was to his release point. That's what caused it to sail high and away the way it did.
All strike 3. This Saturday, the Cubs host the Cardinals at Wrigley. Game time 3:10, but be sure to get here early. The first 10,000 fans get a Cubs lapel pin, compliments of Bank of America. The Yankees beat the Twins in the suspended game from yesterday, 1-0. A.J. Burnett got his 5th victory. The first ever rain delay at Target Field as Fontenot goes into the right field corner. And he has his 2nd double of the night. He's going to stop there. As Johnson had a little trouble getting it back in. 2-out double for Fontenot.
Yeah, with 2 outs, you're already in scoring position at second base. You have to be 100% sure you can make it safely to third. One of those cardinal rules of baseball. You don't make the first or last out at third base. Fontenot just over the outstretched arm of James Loney down into the corner where Reed Johnson had some issues in the corner, but Fontenot wisely held at second base.
Derek Jeter had a home run, only run in that game, and then the regularly scheduled game, the Yankees won that one, got a run in the 9th to win 3-2. Bouncer up the middle for Call comes in, throws from near second base, and he gets Castro to end the Cubs' 5th. On to the 6th. Dodgers lead the Cubs by 3. Tom Gorzolani struggled early, but seems to be getting stronger. Caught the corner against James Loney. 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Nick Swisher won that game at Minnesota with a 9th inning homer. Well, the Yankees making Andy Pettitte a winner. He's 6-1. John Roush took the loss. Yankees won 2 today, although the first game was technically played yesterday. On the hands and fought off foul. Bobby Abreu with a game-ending RBI single as the Angels edged the Blue Jays 6-5. Close, didn't get it. 2-2. Oakland over Baltimore. 6-1 the final at Camden Yards. Trevor Cahill beat Brian Mattis. Adam Rosales with a homer for Oakland. Garrett Atkins is first for Baltimore. Orioles had only 3 hits in that one. Bob Howery getting loose in the Cubs bullpen. Down into the right field corner. Fair ball for Loney. Fukudome will pick it up. Loney is rounding second, and he's going to get third easily. A standing triple for James Loney. It's his first 3-base hit of the year.
James Loney not really considered a dead pull hitter. Most teams bunch their outfielders towards the gaps. He's more of a guy that hits the ball from right center to left center, but this time it's a hanging fastball and lines it down into that right field corner. We talked about Loney in the ball game last night, a very underrated player, especially as a base runner. He leads this Dodgers team going first to third 7 times this season, and here he legs out his first triple of the season to lead off the inning. Not the fastest Dodger, but a very good base runner nonetheless.
Cubs will bring their infielders in. The corner men in right at the edge of the grass, about halfway in up the middle against Johnson. Waves at a strike. How about the Mets? Back-to-back shutouts against the Phillies in New York. 5-0 tonight. They beat them 8-0 last night. Hisanori Takahashi started and won it for the Mets tonight. Oh, 0-2.
About that Houston-Milwaukee game, Houston leading 5-0. Trevor Hoffman pitching in the 7th inning of that ball game. Trying to get him right.
Check swing foul. Reed was limited to just 65 games last season. Back spasms, fractured foot. Put him on the DL a couple times. You know, it was a very frustrating year for a guy who prides himself on gutting through some injuries, but last year it was a problem. Pulled to left. Fair. Reed Johnson with an RBI double, so triple and a double to start this inning. It's 6-2 LA.
Gorzelani fooled Reed Johnson with that pitch, fooled him badly, got him way out in front. He just kind of reached out across the plate with one hand. Managed to get the barrel on the ball and keep it fair down into that left field corner for the second extra base hit in a row for the Dodgers.
Howery's ready when needed. As DeWitt takes strike one. Cubs are partnering up with Solo Cup Company, Allied Waste, Free Green Can, and Levy Restaurants, as they have introduced the Real Fans Recycle program here at the ballpark. So when you come here, you will now be able to recycle all your plastic cups in a specially marked bin. And once recycled, those cups will be used to make plastic lumber for picnic tables, park benches, carpet fibers, clothing, automotive parts, paint brushes, and more plastic cups. Soriano coming in, and he didn't catch it, and Johnson goes back to second. A little hesitation by Soriano, and it cost him. And that's going to be it for Gorzelani.
Yeah, the hesitation cost Soriano out in left field, but it also held Reed Johnson closer to second base, and he was not able to advance once that ball got down in left field. DeWitt with that inside-out swing slashes the ball to left field. You saw Soriano was going to play it on a hop, then decided to try to come in and make the shoestring catch. And the whole time, Reed Johnson was caught out there in no man's land.
We'll be back. As well. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T, rethink possible.
That really is only do you get an opportunity to get down on the field here at Wrigley and get some autographs, but you get a little FaceTime with each and every coach and player.
Chad Billingsley trying to lay down a bunt. With 2 on and nobody out and a run in. Bob Howery making his first home appearance since re-signing with the Cubs. We saw him in Texas on Sunday. Gave up a hit and a walk in 1/3 of an inning. Take the second, but the Cubs didn't have any defenders there as he sent Johnson scampering back to the bag.
The Cubs actually had the wheel play on the first pitch here to Billingsley. That's where the third baseman Fontenot charges. Castro is responsible for breaking to cover third base. Derek Lee charges from first, and Theriot covers the bag at first. See how they play it here on the second pitch.
That's a strike, 1-1.
That time it was what most teams call the straight up, the normal play. Defensively, the third baseman reads the bunt. If he feels his pitcher can come over and make the play, Fontenot will retreat to the bag at third, maybe try to get the lead runner. If he feels his pitcher can't get the ball, it's his responsibility to come in, pick up the bunt, throw on to first base for the out.
This is Howery's third appearance against the Dodgers. The first two came as a Diamondback. Gave up 3 earned runs in 2 innings.
Boy, and any bunt defense play starts with the pitcher throwing a strike. That's the very first thing you talk about in spring training when you start your bunt defense fundamental drills. It all starts with a strike to the hitter. Especially if you're going to run some kind of a trick play, the wheel play or a pickoff play or something like that. You have to get ahead of that hitter at the plate throwing strikes.
Lee fields and hits Theriot at first. A successful sacrifice for Billingsley.
Hey, Len, Mary Buckley from Park Ridge is tonight's Hit the Jackpot with Powerball contestant. If the Cubs hit a home run in the next inning, Mary Buckley will win 100 chances to win the Powerball jackpot. Tonight's jackpot is worth $190 million.
So everybody in on the infield, second and third, one out. Rafael Furcal is at the plate, as we talked about, and I don't know if we were actually on the air at the time. He takes a healthy hack for a leadoff guy. Well, Howery would have to strike him out here. Good block by Coy Hill. 1 ball, no strikes. Furcal turning around and batting left-handed against the righty Howery.
Furcal's been a much better hitter as a lefty this year, hitting .328 as a left-hander coming into play tonight. Only .167 from the right side of the plate.
Little tapper. The throw goes to the plate and it gets by. Johnson would have scored either way. Furcal's going to end up at second base. That was an ill-advised throw by Ryan Theriot. A fielder's choice and an RBI for Furcal. An error on Theriot, allowing Furcal to get that extra base.
It just didn't seem like the timing of that play was there. The slowly chopped ball to the right side of the infield. Reed Johnson was off with contact at third base. You saw Theriot had to make a slight adjustment at the very end of that play. The ball kicked back to his right just a little bit, but just a poor throw to home plate, a poor decision. Probably should have taken the out at first base.
Same deal, second and third. It's Russell Martin. 7-2 Dodgers. Sliced to right. Fukudome catches it on the run, keeps everybody right where they are. A little scary there for a second, but once Fukudome got to it, it was actually what the Cubs wanted because his momentum was carrying him toward the plate.
Blake DeWitt thought that ball was going to get down. He broke for home plate immediately. Then he saw Fukudome streaking in, tried to get back to third base and tag up, but no chance to advance. As you said, Fukudome got there quickly, his momentum carrying him into his throw. all the Dodger runners have to hold.
Still got to get Kemp, however, as he came up with runners at second and third in the second inning, and 2 down, and knocked in 2 with a double. Slider for a strike. Two strikes on Kemp. Last year, Matt Kemp became one of 16 players ever to hit at least 25 homers and steal at least 30 bases before their 26th birthday. It's in a single season. Just missed. 26 homers, 100 RBIs, 34 steals. Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger Award for Matt Kemp. Swing and a miss to end the inning. They get 2 to pad their lead. It's now 7-2 Dodgers. Sports Game Zone banner and connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and info while you're watching at home. Game Zone sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio and play sets, hot tubs, and more. Chad Billingsley takes a 7-2 lead here into the bottom of the 6th. A strike to Coy Hill. Rough line for Tom Gorzolani. 7 runs, 5 earned in 5+ innings. Bob Howard did a nice job in the top of the 6th. Xavier Nady will bat for him after Coy Hill. 0-2 on the Cubs catcher. On the ground at DeWitt. Short throw, he gets Hill. Here's Nady on the bench for the first time actually in a while. He had started the 4 previous games to tonight.
The overall numbers for Xavier Nady this year, he's 2 for 13 as a pinch hitter. However, he's driven in 4 runs with his 2 pinch hit base hits.
There's a lot more to come from Xavier Nady. Coming back from Tommy John surgery. But we've seen him get a little more playing time as the season has gone on. And the guy can hit. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But he is used to playing a lot more than he has. I think the other part of it, Bob, not only the injury, but he only played in 7 games last year. It's just general timing, I think. 2-1. Right-hander Jeff Stevens talking with Lester Strode. That's high, 3-1. Cubs are pretty excited about what's going on in general in their minor league system. Producing some major league ready players this year like James Russell and Starlin Castro, Tyler Colvin. Fly ball deep to left. Nady goes deep. About the 3rd row in the bleachers for a home run. And it's 7-3. A pinch hit blast for Xavier Nady.
I know one person that really likes it, Mary Buckley of Park Ridge. She wins 100 chances to win the Powerball jackpot, and tonight's jackpot is worth $190 million. Congratulations, Mary Buckley.
He grooved one on 3-1, and Nady took it out. Third career pinch hit home run for Nady. And with that, Ronald Belisario is up in the Dodger pen.
Yeah, Nady hadn't even touched home plate yet when Rick Honeycutt was on his way to the mound, and there was some stirring in that Dodger bullpen, and Belisario now throwing in earnest down there, trying to get ready in a hurry.
Kosuke pulls it foul. Now the AAA Iowa Cubs have rattled off 13 of 15. The Cubs minor league affiliates in total are 99 and 82. AA team hasn't played quite as well lately. Got off to a great start. Their 2 best players are no longer there. Castro is here, and Andrew Kashner is now at AAA. He was the PCL pitcher of the week for last week. And at AA Tennessee, Ty Wright, their left fielder, the Southern League hitter of the week. Daytona, Bob, as you know, playing much better baseball here lately. And the Peoria Chiefs are 6 games over 500. Boise and Mesa will start up in mid-June.
Daytona team, Kyler Burke, who was the Cubs minor league player of the year last year, has homered in 4 of his last 5 ball games. He's starting to heat up.
Ground ball through the hole as Percal was shading Fukudome up the middle. Time to look at our BMW drive of the game. Xavier Nady with the home run. Only BMW offers ultimate service. Buy a BMW now. Pays 0 maintenance costs for 4 years or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first.
Going to do it for Billingsley.
So Joe Torre is going to make a change. Ronald Belisario will come in to face Ryan Theriot. Cubs trailing 7-3. And it'll be up to both bullpens the rest of the way. Kings Sports. Right-hander Ronald Belisario, who began the season on the restricted list because of visa issues in Venezuela that forced him to miss most of spring training, so he wasn't even reinstated until April 21st. Faces Ryan Theriot, pops a strike. Runner at first, one out. A run in, 7-3 Dodgers. Rosario had a really good year last year. In his rookie campaign, a 2.03 ERA, 69 appearances. 1-2.
He's got a real live arm. Throws across his body a little bit as a fastball that'll sit in the low to mid 90s. Puts in an occasional slider, but he's basically going to come in there pounding that fastball with some downward tailing movement. Called a foul ball at home plate. Russell Martin reacted as if Theriot didn't get a piece of that one. Russell Martin and Wally Bell behind the plate have had an ongoing discussion throughout this ball game tonight. When you see the catcher whip off that mask like that, it's an indication that he felt the guy just swung and missed at the pitch.
Well, I think he's right.
I think he is right. Theriot sold it well. Russell Martin was called out to strikes back in the fourth inning and had words for Wally Bell at home plate. Came back out for the next inning to warm up Billingsley, and they had more words. And ball got by him and looked like it hit Wally Bell in the hand.
DeWitt will throw without tagging Fukudome. Now they have him hung up. It'll be a double play. That'll go 4-3-6. That's it. They get a run, 7-3 after 6. We had a power outage in the top of the 4th inning. The delay was 18 minutes. And at about 8:28, a tree limb fell and hit a power line, the 3800 block of North Racine, and about 1,000 customers had their power knocked out, including Wrigley Field, which is a pretty big customer.
And there was no wind whatsoever. You wonder what made that tree branch come down on the power lines. Somebody climbing up a tree. You never know.
Right-hander Jeff Stevens is on. Second appearance since being called up a week ago in Philadelphia. Pitched a scoreless inning last Thursday. And a pitch to Manny Ramirez, ball 1. Stevens had to come in and face Jason Worth and Shane Victorino. And then Placido Polanco in Philadelphia, and he gets Manny Ramirez tonight. Go get him. The kick, the 2-0. Caught the outside corner. Pitch speed's back. We're at about 100%.
Cubs got a little bit of the power back in their lineup with that solo home run off the bat of Xavier Nady, pinch hitting for Bob Howery in the bottom of the 6th. There's a lot more power there.
Stevens had a 2.60 ERA in 12 appearances with Iowa before he got called up. Curveball strike. He's worked on a slider a lot. Used to be 4-seam fastball and a curveball, but now has incorporated that harder breaking pitch. Bounce to third. Fontenot up with it. One away. Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Cubs.com shop. Accept no substitutes. Only substitutes we accept are egg whites in the morning. That's it.
Speak for yourself. We're nice to substitute teachers as well, since I did that for a number of years when I was playing in the minor leagues, a way to make a little money in the off season. You got to be nice to those substitute teachers.
Two 2-0 on Casey Blake. Braves beat the Marlins in Florida. Big 6-run 7th for Atlanta. 7-3 the final in Miami. Tommy Hanson, the starter and winner for the Braves. Burke Badenhop in relief dropped to 0-5. It's actually warmer here tonight than in Miami at game time. 78 here, 77 in Miami. It's like they're both keeping score of this ball game.
Dueling scorecards.
Called strike 3, 2 down.
You mentioned Jeff Stevens incorporating a slider when he was down at AAA Iowa. It looks like he's worked a little bit on a cut fastball as well. Maybe that is his slider. I'll tell you, he throws it very hard, but has just enough movement away from the right-handed hitters.
The great Pat Foley ready to sing the stretch. Ball one to James Loney. There he is. His Cub jersey on. Ready to belt it out.
I don't want to give it away because I'm sure we're going to show his first pitch that he threw before the ball game tonight, and he had all his bases covered tonight. He was ready to go. Threw a strike. We'll see.
Fastball at 92. Late on that swing. Dodgers got 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the sixth. The Cubs with single tallies in the second, third, and sixth. They've had pretty much as many chances as the Dodgers tonight. They just haven't capitalized as Loney continues his hot night. Bucadome will pick up the loose change in the corner, and Loney now a home run away from the cycle. A single, a triple, and a double. He'll probably get one more shot here in the final innings.
Well, Coy Hill wanted it up. Jeff Stevens delivered it up, unfortunately, on the inside part of the play where Loney uses those quick hands to drive another ball down into the right field corner. I mentioned after his triple, he doesn't hit a lot of balls right down that right field line, but he's done so twice tonight.
Johnson bounces to Derek Lee. Here comes Pat Foley with a stretch.
Taking me out to the ball game is Chicago Blackhawk announcer Pat Foley.
All right, Cubs fans and Hawks fans, let me hear ya. Good and loud. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root, root, root for. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's score some goals.
Seven 3. The Dodgers lead the Cubs in the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss by Derek Lee. But this guy hit a home run, Pat Foley. As always with our 7th inning stretch, the pride of Glenview. Always great to see you, Pat.
Great to be here, and always coming to Wrigley Field is a real treat.
You'll get a kick out of this. Every time I see James Loney, you know I'm a hockey fan. I want to say Troy Loney, the former enforcer with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I believe a Stanley Cup winner.
Got a shot of Adam Burrish admiring your 7th inning stretch rendition. We've seen a few of the Blackhawks out here, the Western Conference champs.
It's a great relationship that these two franchises have built. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I don't think you guys have either. By the way, I got some swag for you. Western Conference champions. There you go, Lenny.
Very
Bob.
nice.
We're going to make a hockey guy out of Bob Brenly, too. Look
swag
at that.
is good.
Swag is good. Now, we're hoping that in 2 weeks we have some different stuff to bring up.
Yes, yes, indeed.
So, are we not supposed to wear this then? We touched it.
You did touch it, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we can wear it.
I think you have to at this point.
Proudly.
Yes.
But they're not done yet.
No, they're not. Not anywhere near.
2-2 on Derek. Another base hit. He stays red hot. His 3rd hit. Now, Pat, before we get into your finals breakdown, check out your first pitch. I want to know what you did for 18 minutes during the power outage.
Well, I had to. Now, I think the fans sort of like this.
Yeah, they like that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had all your bases covered. The Cub fans love you, and now the Blackhawks fans were on their feet. And look at this. Steve Reicha.
Oh, my goodness. That's Bob Foley taught me that at Cole Park in Glenview, Illinois.
So were you walking to the concourse, you tripped over a power cord and the lights went out, or what happened?
No, a bunch of my friends that are here did not want to subject these poor fans to my singing. I think that's why the lights went out. But we muddled through it somehow.
And you're a huge baseball fan. We've seen you out here quite a bit over the years, and this is kind of how you let your hair down.
I love it. I was here last night. I mean, I don't think there's a better way to spend a summer day or evening than right in this in the friendly confines.
How about a little hockey at the United Center in early June? That's not bad either.
There's nothing better than that. There's not going to be nothing better than watching these games. And, you can feel it. There's a buzz in this town, and certainly the bar has been raised and the expectations are high. But don't forget, it's an awfully good team they're playing, a team that has led quite a charmed life. I mean, they've had a lot of things going their way. They get in the playoffs the last day of the season on a shootout. They're losing 3-0. They got back and tied the series. They're losing Game 7 on the road, 3-0. They win the game. So they've had a lot of things going their way. So Blackhawks better be ready to bring their best.
It's interesting. I don't know if you can explain it, why it is that road teams have had so much success in the playoffs. And it was good to see the Blackhawks finish it out at home. Something that, not a lot of teams have been able to do in these playoffs. What explains that?
Never seen anything like it, first of all, Lenny. Home ice advantage, that term now seems to be an oxymoron. I think that to a degree, all of these new rinks around the NHL now, the dimensions are all the same. The visiting locker room is just as nice as the home locker room. You don't go into Boston Garden for a June game and have to sweat and have only hot water coming out of the showers. There were games that were played in the old buildings. Now playing on the road, the comfort for the visiting team is about as nice as it is for the home team. So I'm not sure that's a good explanation. That's what I'm going to throw out there.
Well, it does make it exciting. It gives every team a chance. And I guess if you wanted to be more equitable, they might change the rules at some point, which the NHL has not been shy about if they feel it's necessary to tweak the rules. They've added the shootout. They've taken away the 2-line pass. But I do think there might be a few teams down the road who end up with 120 points, who get bounced in the first round going, we need a little more advantage. Played for 6 months. We've been the best team.
Yeah.
And we can't win at home. Yeah, it is. It's a head scratcher. But hopefully, that home ice advantage will be huge for the Hawks in the finals.
I think, Lenny, the common thinking nowadays is that you certainly can win on the road. What you want is Game 7 at home if it gets to that point.
Absolutely. I heard somebody describe it. I don't know if it was a Blackhawk, but the idea that you might play a little bit more conservatively on the road. You don't have the last change, and at home sometimes maybe the emotions get too hot and you try to make that extra pass to get the crowd going or something.
You want to put on a show.
Yeah. Soriano got under it, and Ramirez going after it. This could drop. It does. And Derek read it all the way. He'll end up at third. Soriano with a bloop double. So the Cubs rallying here in the seventh. Could not have placed it more perfectly.
You mean like anywhere in front of Manny?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. He was chasing that fly ball like he thought it was going to explode when it hit the ground. Nuclear fly ball to left field. Manny short-legged it as best he could. He's hoping his shortstop for a call would get out there and make a play, but it dropped for a double.
Here comes Joe Torre. He's got lefty Hong-Chi Kuo up, and Tyler Colvin is due up for the Cubs, and that'll be it for Belisario. Single and an error on Manny Ramirez. So 7-3 Dodgers. Pat Foley's with us. Cubs are threatening to get back into this one. Final, you have to pick one strategic point to focus on.
Well, I'm not sure that there's, to me, one strategic point to think about, Lenny. I think what the Hawks need to be thinking about is going about their business the way they have up until now, which is they haven't gotten ahead of themselves. They haven't listened to hype. They haven't taken anything for granted. They've realized with a couple of suspect games early in these playoffs that you can't just show up and win. And, you know, ever since a couple blips early on, I mean, they have been, this blows me away. For such a young team, their ability to stay in the moment and not get ahead of themselves and not get full of themselves. I've been really impressed by a young group acting like veterans. And that's kind of the way it's been to me. I think the coaching staff has done a marvelous job, obviously, with game planning and things like that. But the execution of these players and the going about their business in a serious way, there will be time to have fun if there's a parade. Let's get to that and not think about anything ahead of the game tonight.
Marlon Byrd is going to bat for Tyler Colvin against the left-hander Kuo. He's the only left-hander the Dodgers have in their bullpen. This has not been the prettiest defensive night we've seen. 5 errors combined in this game. 3 by the Cubs, 2 by the Dodgers.
And nobody throwing in the Dodger bullpen right now, so Kuo will be the guy to face Marlon Byrd, and I would assume Mike Fontenot in the on-deck circle. This is where if Aramis Ramirez were 100% healthy, we'd probably see him pinch hit for Mike Fontenot against the left-hander.
Late swing by Byrd and hit foul.
So, Pat, did you lose any teeth?
No. I'm willing to take a hit to make a play, Bobby, but how about that Duncan Keith, who I really think is more deserving than anybody the Norris Trophy. But Mike Havlin, one of the assistant coaches, is here tonight and sitting with us, and he said when Dunk came back from now 2 of his teeth were lodged in his throat, had to pick them out with tweezers. He comes back to the bench. Hawks are killing a penalty at that time. Havy looks at him, he says, I need you. Okay, I'm going. I'm ready. So, I mean, it's the hockey mentality. It's a wonderful thing to experience and to be around.
Every team has its own dentist or 2. Bird late again on the swing. 1-2 the count. Kuo throws hard. Bob, you'd be hard pressed to find another lefty who can hit 96 on the gun in this entire league.
We talk about that all the time, why left-handers seem to have good success against righties. It's because most of them are junk ballers. They feature a changeup or some kind of a breaking pitch. Kuo just comes out of that bullpen firing BBs.
Dodgers will give up a run for an out, leading by 4 here in the late innings.
Well, guys, you watch this team, and I've been a Cubs fan since I was knee-high. Tell me there's still time. Tell me there's a chance for things to start going in the right direction here.
Well, it's game 47. So
all right.
There's plenty of time. 115 to go. And I think we've seen signs here lately that this team is getting more consistent. The starting pitching has been a strength. The one thing we've said is get the ball to Carlos Marmol in the ninth with a lead, and they've done that more consistently lately. He has been arguably the most dominating relief pitcher in all of baseball. And I think that's why they've been winning the close games here lately, even though they trailed tonight. He's basically striking out 2 batters per inning, and Marlin with a half swing went too far. Strike 3.
And tonight, notwithstanding, the defense has been much better since the early going this season. The addition of Starlin Castro at shortstop, moving Terrio over to second base. The addition of Marlon Byrd in center field. He is a true captain in the outfield. The defense has been much, much improved.
Start getting these middle of the order guys going. Looks like Derek is heating up a little bit. So in hockey, they always say your best players have to be your best players.
There's no doubt that works in baseball too. So Baker will hit for Fontenot and just stay in and play third as he hits it foul. Really, Pat, until you get to Memorial Day, every team, even the teams in last place, can say we still have plenty of time. When you get to Labor Day and you're in last, probably a little too late. When the hockey teams are breaking camp and you're in 5th, you're probably done. That's a strike. 0-2 on Jeff Baker. Well, I could see Marian Hossa win it this year. It'll be his 3rd straight year in the finals. I know he hasn't scored as much lately, but his plus minus off the charts, and I know that's the number hockey people look at.
Well, it's an important number, and I'll be surprised if this guy does not have a great finals. You said it. 3 straight years there, and it's quite an achievement for him. I don't think there are a lot of guys that have been able to do that in the past. It's actually the jersey I wore tonight is a jersey the Hawks gave my dad on his 81st birthday a couple of years ago. I was actually sort of glad that I had that. So I'm kind of feeling Hossa. I think he's going to have a good finals.
Ryan Dempster, huge Hawks fan. He pitched a gem last night.
Well, we had a bunch of your guys out at some hockey games, and
the whole team came out. Yeah. It was wonderful.
And I know you're as big a rink rat as there is, Lenny, so I hope you'll be able to find a game or two in the finals where you can stop by. Love to see. I got you covered if you need it.
Oh, I appreciate that. We talked about a potential Game 6, right? Or was it Game 7? Game 7 against Vancouver. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Yeah. Jeff Baker, high and deep. And off the wall. He just missed a home run. The Cubs are going to get 2 out of it. Baker's going to end up at 3rd. Boy, he hit it very high. And there is a slight wind now that may have kept that ball out of the bleachers. It's 7-5. Well, that ball was up in the air a long time.
Boy, off the bat, I thought that was a no-doubter. Had the right trajectory, had the right sound off the bat. Jeff Baker making a bid for a 3-run homer to the gap in left center field. It's hit about in the middle of the wall, just to the right of the door out there in the gap. Baker hustling out of the batter's box, turns it into a triple.
How about the pinch hitters tonight? Nady with a home run, and now Baker with a 2-run triple. And this is not a gimme here, but the Dodgers are going to give the Cubs their 6th run if Castro can make some decent contact. Apparently, a 4-run lead in the 7th is like the dreaded 3-goal lead in hockey.
You know, a while ago, Lenny, you were talking about some of the changes the NHL has made. Here's the best thing they've done. They've opened the game up. They've let the Stars play. And now a 1-goal lead in the 3rd period doesn't mean you're going to win.
Yeah, that's a great point. Dustin Byfuglien has come up huge. They have 3-game winners out of 4.
I think he did, yeah.
Oh, man.
And you play with those 2 kids, get to an area, keep your stick on the ice.
Round back.
He's done a great job, no question. It seems that the last couple of years, the playoffs have Brought the best out of the big boy.
Quaddy chatting with Jeff Baker, third. Cubs with 13 hits tonight. So the Dodgers 8, but they're trailing by 2. The players know this game far from over. It's been a strange night here. We had a power outage. Cubs really have been trailing since the top of the first inning, but they're not out of it. Just missed. Well, Wally Bell had a stretch there, Bob, in about the 5th or the 6th where he was ringing up everybody, but not that time.
I mentioned at the top of the show, he will give you some wiggle room low in the strike zone. He rarely goes up above the belt, though, with a called strike.
Tip, strike 3. Pat, we all have heroes when we become broadcasters. We usually mention someone who got us interested in this. Ernie Harwell was my hero. I know Lloyd Pettit was one of your heroes. And for Lloyd, there was the Cub and Blackhawk connection. One of the greatest voices in the history of Chicago sports.
No question about it. I mean, he was a guy I grew up listening to. But the broadcasting bug was planted for me in that booth right over there with Jack Quinlan. I was able to come to a game when I was 12 years old and sit in the booth, and that's where the seed sort of got planted in my world. And, you know, a tragic loss way too early, but Jack Quinlan was a wonderful guy and obviously a great broadcaster.
No doubt. At the time, did you want to be a baseball announcer, a hockey announcer, basketball? Did it matter? Did you just want to be it?
Yeah, it didn't matter, Lenny. It was whatever, whichever way it went. And you know how this business is. How lucky am I? I mean, I'm doing the Chicago Blackhawks, and I've been there since 1980, and I'm working at home. I mean, it just doesn't happen in our business. It's a 1,000,000-to-1 shot, so I count my blessings every day.
Well, I think everyone watching tonight would agree. You're the best in the business. You and Eddie together, man, with that great voice and energy, and you guys have a wonderful rapport, and it's just a pleasure to watch. It helps the team is really, really good, but we'd watch it no matter what. You know that.
Thanks, Lenny. Great to be with you guys.
All right, let's get that cup here to Wrigley Field in a few weeks.
You got it, brother. Come see us.
After pinch hitting. And Baker is in there as well for Fontenot. 7-5. Cubs trailing by 2. It's going to be up to James Russell and company to keep the Dodgers right where they are. Thanks so much to Pat Foley for stopping by. And Bob, on a personal note, I think you would wholeheartedly agree. We want to send our special congratulations to John McDonough and Jay Blunt and David Knickerbocker, all who at one time were in the Cubs organization. But they're all great friends, and we wish them all the best. They've had an unbelievable storybook year.
And the fun is just starting. I think it's going to be a magical season for the Blackhawks.
Giovanni Soto is in there as well to catch.
I assume that means Giovanni Soto will be hitting in the 9 spot. James Russell will occupy the 8 spot, formerly held by Coy Hill. So Soto will be leading off the bottom half of the 8th.
And low ball 1 to Blake DeWitt.
We showed a shot of the Cubs dugout during that last half inning when Pat Foley was here in the booth, and you could see Giovanni Soto with his helmet and batting gloves and bat standing on the step. I believe he was going to hit for the pitcher spot if the Cubs got there.
And a base hit for DeWitt. Big turn. Quo is going to take the at bat.
Plan your next corporate function or family gathering in the comfort of the Wrigley Field Mezzanine Suites presented by Nuveen Investments. Suites are available now for games during the season. To book your suite or for more information, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-4200. First at bat of the season for Quo. Last sack bunt came in July 4th, 2008. They fired up some fireworks that day because he got a sack bunt down.
It's foul. Soto tried to grab it with a bare hand while it was hovering over the plate, but apparently it was behind the dish. Pretty good one, as Baker will get it to Terry on time. Brings up for call.
We gave you the numbers for Call earlier in the ball game. He's been a much better hitter from the left side of the plate this season. James Russell turns him around to his weaker side here as a right-handed hitter.
Here's a pitch. Muscled out into short center. Bird's going to catch it. And DeWitt smartly turned around and headed back to second as he saw Bird was going to get there.
And Marlon Byrd was getting himself into a position to catch and throw quickly. I think he saw out of his peripheral vision that DeWitt had broken for third base initially, and Marlon, as he came in after that little floating fly ball, you'll see him kind of get his body turned and get ready to throw, but by then DeWitt saw the ball was going to hang up in the air and was able to get back to second base safely.
Swivels and tries to keep an eye on DeWitt. inside. 1-0 on Russell Martin. No hits tonight, but he scored twice after walking and reaching on an error. Big swing, he fouled it back. Missed away. James Russell's walked only 2 batters this season. He struck out 12. That's an excellent ratio. But he's gone 3-1 on Martin. Bouncing ball to Starlin Castro. James Russell with a scoreless 8. Bottom 8, 7-5 Dodgers. Because we had an 18-minute power outage delay. I just have a feeling, Bob, the Cubs have had chances to get blown out tonight, quite honestly. But they've hung around enough to give themselves a chance here. They're only down 2. They're going to have to do it against the hard-throwing lefty Quo and a hard-throwing righty Jonathan Broxton if they're going to come back and win this. But they're already going to make headlines because of the power outage. Why not make more headlines?
Really turn the power on. You got to get ready quick. You're going to get a belly full of fastballs from Quo and from Broxton after him. Both extremely hard throwers. That's an 86-mile-an-hour slider from the Dodger lefty. There's Jonathan Broxton warming up.
First at bat for Giovanni Soto. And he pulls it into left, bringing the tying run to the plate. That snaps an over for Gio. First hit in 20 official at bats.
Really quick with his top hand that time. Pitch is actually out over the plate. You could see Russell Martin reaching for the outside corner about belt high, and Giovanni Soto got out there and snapped that top hand through the hitting zone and pulled it into left field for a base hit.
Right down the middle to Fukudome. Great example of just how international Major League Baseball is. Hong Chi-kuo is from Taiwan, facing Kosuke Fukudome, who hails from Japan. And the guy behind the plate, Russell Martin, is from Canada. He's from Virginia, Sean Marshall. Kosuke was able to hold up. Going to James Hoy at third. The kick and the pitch, swing and a miss. 97 that time. Well, that's just a tough AB for any left-handed hitter. And remember, Nady and Bird have both already come off the bench. So has Soto.
And the only available bat now for Lou Piniella, other than pitchers, would be Aramis Ramirez, and we're not sure whether Lou would be willing to use him tonight because of that injured left thumb. Also, if there is some question about whether you're going to put Aramis Ramirez on the disabled list or not, you can backdate it to the last time he appeared in a major league game, and for Aramis that would have been last Saturday. If you pinch hit him in the ball game tonight, you lose that last period of time, and today would be the last time he appeared in a game, and if he went on the 14-day disabled list, that would mean he'd miss the full 2 weeks.
Kuo has recorded 4 outs. They've all been strikeouts. Going to be it for him. Jonathan Broxton going to try to get the final 5 outs as he looks for his 11th save. A fireballing righty coming in. 7-5 Dodgers. Chi-kuo is nasty.
And so is this guy, Jonathan Broxton, taking the mound now for the Dodgers as a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball slider. The fastball average velocity this season sits at 96. His slider, the average velocity sits at 87, which means he's thrown some pitches a lot harder than that. He's not going to try to trick anybody. He's going to throw it over the plate. You see only 2 base on balls in 18 2/3 innings this year to go along with the 29 strikeouts.
Well, obviously the Cubs want to have a couple guys on for the red-hot Derek Lee, who has 6 hits already in the series. So Terrio will do his best to reach base. Broxton has gone beyond an inning 1 time all year. That was an inning and a third at Washington on April 24th. That's it. All of the other 18 appearances, he's gone a maximum of 1 inning. Ontario 0 for 4 against Broxton as he looks at a 96-mile-an-hour well-located fastball.
Well, the key is try not to swing as hard as he's throwing. The key is to swing quick. Get that bat into the hitting zone as quickly as you can. Use your hands a little bit more. If you try to overpower his fastball with a big swing, he's going to overmatch you.
.6'4", 294. From Augusta, Georgia, an all-star last year, 1-2. Led all major league relievers with 114 strikeouts last season, and also led an opponent's batting average of just 165.
Emergency swing that time just to stay alive in the sequence. That swing will serve you well right now against a hard thrower like Broxton. You've got the hole on the right side of the infield. A little first and third here.
Finely crafted sideburns. Another 1-2. Could be trouble there. A 4-3 double play. So Derek Lee will have to lead off the ninth. We'll go to the top of the ninth. 7-5 Dodgers. In the ninth, Derek Lee will lead off the bottom of the ninth against Jonathan Broxton. Well, that's a double whammy. Not only does that inning end, but you get Broxton off the hook. As I mentioned, it's rare to see him go more than an inning. You'd like to have made him throw a lot of pitches at the very least to get out of that eighth inning.
And even more importantly, get Derek Lee to the plate with some runners on base. He is undoubtedly the hottest Cub hitter right now. 3 more knocks in the ball game tonight.
Matt Kemp will lead off the ninth. Strike one. Houston shut out Milwaukee 5-0. Roy Oswalt, who could be dealt at some point this year with 8 shutout innings, he beat Chris Narveson.
I bet there are a few scouts at that ball game.
Yes. And the roof closed tonight. Maybe a threat of rain in Milwaukee. That's high. 2-2 the count. Clayton Kershaw was pretty good last night. Chatting with Hiroki Kuroda, a couple of Dodgers starters as Kemp strikes out. First one for Russell. Rockies beat the Diamondbacks 7-3. All the runs for Arizona came in the ninth after Ubaldo Jimenez went 8 shutout to improve his record to 9-1 and his ERA to 0.88. Tell you, as good as Roy Halladay's been, I think Jimenez, if the season ended today, he's got to be the Cy Young. He has 9 wins. We're not even in June. Got a no-hitter to his credit. It doesn't matter where he pitches. He just keeps winning, and his ERA is under 1. And he's a Rocky, for crying out loud.
He's going to pitch half his games at Coors Field.
Tonight's game was in Denver, in fact. Cardinals and Padres are scoreless in the 5th. I'm sure they're dealing with May Gray in San Diego. That heavy air and another low-scoring affair tonight. Slicing drive. Fukudome will get it right. Looks it in. 2 down. And he is 0 for 5 tonight. And now just 1 for 8 in the series. Tim Lincecum got knocked around by the Washington Nationals in San Francisco tonight. He gave up 6 runs. In 4 2/3, it's 6-zip Nationals in the bottom of the 5th. Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Casey Blake. Boston won again, 11-3 at Tampa Bay. Red Sox have been a lot better lately. They've won 5 in a row. Tampa Bay lost a game and a half off their lead because of the Yankees sweep in Minnesota. It's just 3.5 in the American League East. David Ortiz hit another home run. It gives him 10.
Boy, after a really slow start to the season, there was a lot of question as to whether Big Papi was cooked. He's come on like gangbusters lately.
Deep drive to left and gone. Casey Blake makes it 8-5. That is his 4th homer over his last 8 games. Number 7 on the year, 2nd RBI tonight.
Double for an RBI in his first at bat of the ball game, and then here a solo home run to straightaway left field. Got a real quick swing right now. And that's a big run. A 2-run deficit. You feel like if you can get somebody on base, you got a chance with a long ball to tie it up. But 3 runs, you got to work a little harder.
Soriano puts it in his pocket. Loney flies out. Lake with a homer. Bottom 9. Cubs trail by 3. Is out. So Johnson goes from right to left. And Jamie Carroll's now in at second base. Broxton got the double play ball to end the 8th. Derek Lee hits it foul. Strike 1. Broxton from the stretch with nobody on base. Big leg kick inside. That's a guy you don't want to hit you because it's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's going to leave a mark. Well, we talked about Broxton's control. If he comes up and into a hitter like that, it's probably because he wanted to. His command for a power pitcher is exceptional.
Thump to center, but Matt Kemp is there. Even the outs Derek makes are loud.
The wind that had been absent throughout most of this ball game has kicked up a little bit here in the 9th inning, blowing pretty much straight in from center field. May have helped knock down that drive off the bat of Derek Lee.
Ouch. Got a big piece of Russell Martin. Just tell by his reaction that really stung.
Well, that chest protector isn't very thick. They caught him right square in the sternum that time. A little bit of the right shoulder maybe. It'll bruise right through that chest protector. I can attest to that.
And he held 1-1. This has been a painful at bat for the catcher.
I don't mean to laugh.
You're laughing in pain. I know that.
I've been there before. Yeah, sometimes it just runs in streaks. You might not get hit with a foul tip for 2 weeks, and then get hit 3 or 4 times in one at bat. A day game after a night game tomorrow. I got a feeling we're going to see the backup catcher else. Well, we'll see. Russell Martin, he's an Iron Man. He wants to catch every inning of every game.
Crowd very quiet, with the Cubs trailing late, 35,828. Many have headed to their next destination. Or they're just getting a little shut-eye here at about 10:45. Called strike 3. Got him on a slider at 87 miles an hour.
Look where Martin is set up, over in the left-handed batter's box. He has to reach back toward the plate to catch that slider that was right on the outside corner, but he didn't want the pitch that close to the plate. They thought they could get Soriano to chase a slider in the dirt low and away, but Broxton threw it in the strike zone for a called strike 3.
So it's Marlon Byrd or bust for the Cubs at this point. He's got to get on or this game will end. Laid off the slider at 84. Ball 1 to Byrd. His second at bat. He pinch hit in the 7th and struck out, and is now playing center. With Broxton having to get the final 5 outs, I'm wondering if he might not be available tomorrow, but he's been fairly efficient. He got that double play ball to end the 8th.
It's been a while for Jonathan Broxton. He last pitched on Saturday against the Tigers. So depending on the ultimate number of pitches to finish this one out, he'll probably have to wait till he gets to the ballpark tomorrow and take his temperature, let him play a little catch, see how he feels.
Yeah, he's only made 15 pitches, so that's not that many. A fly ball right center. This is Xavier Paul to make the grab, and that's it. The Dodgers win game 2, 8-5. Setting up a rubber match tomorrow. The Cubs' modest 3-game winning streak is over. We'll have more from the ballpark in a moment.